I'm Cynthia Cox, and this is the Nonprofit Minute. Private inurement. Wow, say that 3 times. That is just a very complicated word for something that the IRS prohibits you as a nonprofit from doing. If a nonprofit organization does have private inurement, you can actually lose your tax-exempt status. A nonprofit organization can lose its tax-exempt status if any part of the net earnings from that nonprofit inures or benefits an individual. So a nonprofit, in the nature of what you do, is you are benefiting the community in which you serve. A community being the key difference as opposed to a private individual. Well, does that mean you can't pay somebody? Well, of course not. You can pay a reasonable compensation, but the difference is, like a for-profit company has stockholders, a nonprofit does not. A for-profit company has investors. These people expect to receive dividends, profits, or their portion of the profits because they're a stockholder, they're an investor, whereas a nonprofit is benefiting that entire community. So what's the difference between private inurement or benefiting an individual and reasonable compensation? Well, that's just it. It's got to be reasonable compensation. You're expected in a nonprofit to pay your employees, to pay people for what they do for you, but you're not expected to say write up that if the nonprofit dissolves, all the assets go to key staff or members of the nonprofit. That would be private inurement. Another example is unreasonable compensation. So beyond that market value, you pay beyond that market value for your employee. Maybe you pay it in fringe benefits. All of those things are great and allowed within the IRS regulations. It's a complicated topic. So if you think you have some questions about your activities and want to make sure that you are doing everything you're supposed to be doing according to the IRS regulations, hurry up and get yourself to a qualified professional and ask those questions. We at Cox & Associates would be glad to answer any of your questions, so give us a call. I'm Cynthia Cox with Cox & Associates, CPAs, LLC, and we look forward to serving you.